Let's be honest, arguments are a part of every relationship. You could be with someone you deeply love and still find yourselves butting heads over the smallest things, and sometimes those little disagreements can escalate into big fights, leaving both of you feeling hurt, misunderstood, or even questioning your connection. If you've been there, you're not alone. We've all had those moments when it feels like no matter what we say, the tension just keeps building. But what if it didn't have to be that way? Imagine being able to handle arguments with calm, with control, even with love. Imagine a conversation where, instead of trying to win or defend yourself, you and your partner actually hear each other out, understand each other better, and grow closer in the process. It might sound too good to be true, but it's possible, and that's exactly what I'm here to share with you today. In this video, we're diving into 7 powerful Stoic secrets that can completely transform how you approach arguments in your relationship. These aren't your typical tips and tricks. These are timeless, practical principles that have stood the test of centuries. Stoicism teaches us how to stay grounded, balanced, and compassionate, even when emotions are high. These principles are about turning moments of conflict into opportunities for connection and understanding. And once you start applying these Stoic secrets, arguments won't just be something to survive. They'll be something that strengthens your relationship. If this sounds like the kind of relationship you want, then you're in the right place. So, make sure you stick around until the end, because each of these 7 points builds on the last, bringing you closer to a mindset that will truly transform your relationship. And before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button if you're ready to level up your relationship skills. And if you want more content on building resilient, loving relationships using Stoic wisdom, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You won't want to miss the videos I have coming up, full of insights and strategies to help you create the relationship you've always wanted. So, without further ado, let's dive into these 7 Stoic secrets that can help you handle any argument with grace, understanding, and love. Number 1. Get to the heart of the matter. What if the real problem in an argument isn't what you're arguing about at all? Think back to your last argument with your partner. Maybe it started with something small, like them being late or forgetting an errand. But as the argument went on, did you feel like it was really about that? Often, what we argue over on the surface is just the spark. It ignites deeper, hidden emotions we may not even realize are there. The Stoics believed that addressing conflicts effectively requires peeling back these layers to reveal the real issue beneath. Let's say your partner seems upset over something you thought was minor. Maybe you spent a night out with friends instead of staying home. But when the topic comes up, instead of just saying they were lonely or missed you, they might start talking about feeling unimportant or overlooked. Suddenly, it's not about the one night out. It's about them wanting to feel like a priority in your life. At this moment, you have a choice. You can argue about the night out, or you can dig deeper and ask, what's really going on here? To reach the heart of the matter, start by asking yourself if the argument truly reflects the underlying issue. This might take some honest self-reflection and some brave communication. Try saying, I feel like there's something deeper here. Can you help me understand what you're really feeling? By asking questions like these, you give each other permission to explore vulnerabilities that might otherwise stay buried under surface-level complaints. Getting to the root of the problem also requires courage to share what's really bothering you. If you're frustrated because your partner didn't respond to a message, it could feel easier to snap and say, Why didn't you text back? But if you ask yourself why it hurt, you might find it's about feeling disconnected, or maybe you're carrying a fear that your needs aren't a priority. When you share these deeper feelings, instead of attacking the symptom, you pave the way for a meaningful resolution. It's like pulling out a weed. If you just cut it at the surface, it'll grow back. But if you go deeper, finding the root, you can prevent it from resurfacing. In the same way, digging deeper into arguments helps prevent the same patterns from repeating in the future. Imagine how this approach could change your relationship. Every argument becomes an opportunity to understand each other better and to connect on a deeper level. When you approach arguments with the intention of uncovering the real issue, you create an environment where both of you can express and feel safe. It's not easy, but over time this practice strengthens the foundation of your relationship and helps you face even difficult moments as a team. Have you ever realized that an argument was really about something deeper? Share your experiences in the comments. Let's learn from each other's insights. Number 2. Show affection, even in tense moments. What if I told you that the most powerful thing you can do in an argument is reach out, literally? During arguments, it's natural to feel a physical and emotional distance grow. We cross our arms, turn away, or use defensive body language. But here's where Stoic wisdom challenges us. What if, instead of pulling back, you moved closer? What if, in the heat of a disagreement, you reached out, held their hand, or offered a small physical gesture that says, "I'm still here with you"? Physical affection is more than just a gesture. It's a powerful signal of connection. Touch communicates feelings that words can't always express. Let's say you're in a heated discussion about something important, like finances or family issues. Emotions are running high, and both of you feel like you're not being understood. But in that moment, if one of you reaches out, places a hand on the other's shoulder, or just holds hands, it can instantly shift the tone. This small act is a reminder that, despite the tension, you're still on the same team. Why does this work? Because physical touch calms the nervous system and releases oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. It signals safety and trust, which are especially important during disagreements. When you reach out, you're saying without words, "I care about you more than I care about winning this argument." This simple action can diffuse anger, calm anxiety, and make both of you feel closer, even when emotions are intense. Of course, this doesn't mean that touch alone will solve the problem, but it creates a foundation of goodwill. When you show affection, it's like lowering the emotional temperature of the room. Your partner might soften too, becoming more receptive to finding a resolution. In relationships, it's easy to forget that we're arguing with someone we care deeply about. Physical affection is a reminder that the love between you is more important than any temporary disagreement. Try this next time tensions rise. If you're comfortable, reach out with a gentle touch, whether it's holding their hand, placing a hand on their arm, or even sitting closer. Sometimes that physical closeness can communicate 1,000 words. Have you ever tried showing affection in the middle of a tense moment? Comment below if it made a difference for you. Number 3. Turn arguments into conversations. Ever felt like your arguments go in circles with no one really listening? It's easy to slip into a combative mindset during arguments, thinking that someone has to win and someone has to lose. But what if you approached arguments as conversations instead of confrontations? This Stoic-inspired mindset can turn even the most difficult disagreements into opportunities for understanding and connection. The difference between a fight and a conversation is that in a fight, Each person is trying to defend their own side. In a conversation, however, both people are open to understanding each other's perspectives. Let's say you're arguing about how much time each of you spends on personal hobbies. In a fight, you might focus on proving that your time is justified, trying to make your partner see things your way. But in a conversation, you might say, "I want to understand why this matters to you. Can you tell me more?" Approaching disagreements this way requires patience, curiosity, and respect. Instead of interrupting or thinking about your next point while the other person is talking, you listen. Truly listen. This means acknowledging their feelings, validating their perspective, and trying to understand where they're coming from. When your partner feels heard, they're more likely to lower their defenses and reciprocate. A conversation-oriented approach can lead to breakthroughs. You might discover underlying needs and fears that you hadn't considered, and your partner might find that their feelings are valued. This doesn't mean you'll agree on everything, but it transforms the argument from a battle of wills into a cooperative exchange. Imagine how this could change your relationship. Instead of dreading arguments, you might see them as chances to connect and grow. Conversations foster intimacy, while fights build walls. Choose to converse and watch the positive ripple effect it has on your relationship. Have you ever managed to turn an argument into a real conversation? Share your tips in the comments. Let's help each other build stronger connections. Number 4. Wait for the right moment to address issues. Ever noticed how things seem to explode when we bring them up at the wrong time? Timing can make or break an argument. Think about those moments when you've been stressed, tired, or just not in the right mindset. And yet, that's when the tough conversation happens. It usually doesn't end well, does it? When we address conflicts at a time when emotions are high, we often say things we don't mean or react in ways we later regret. The Stoics believed in self-restraint and patience, emphasizing that there's a time and place for everything. One of the best things you can do in an argument is to be mindful of your own state of mind. Ask yourself, am I ready to have this conversation right now? If you're feeling drained or overwhelmed, it's perfectly okay to pause. You might say, "I want to talk about this, but I don't think now is the best time. Can we come back to this later?" This isn't about avoiding the issue. It's about giving it the respect and attention it deserves by discussing it when you're both more balanced and able to communicate thoughtfully. Imagine you're upset about your partner's spending habits. If you bring it up at the end of a long day, when both of you are exhausted, it's likely to spiral into frustration. But if you wait until a calmer moment, you're both more likely to listen, to think clearly, and to find solutions. Timing matters because it sets the stage for how you approach each other and the issue at hand. Waiting for the right time can feel challenging, especially if the issue feels urgent or if emotions are high. But trust that taking a pause can actually speed up resolution. When you come back to the issue with a clear mind, it's easier to stay calm, to express yourself effectively, and to avoid misunderstandings. This approach doesn't mean burying your feelings. It means honoring them enough to give them the best chance at being understood. Consider trying this the next time you feel an argument bubbling up. If you know you're in a bad mood or feeling stressed, give yourself permission to take a breather. It might feel difficult at first, but with practice, you'll find that waiting for the right moment brings a whole new level of peace and respect to your relationship. Have you ever tried waiting for a better moment to bring up a difficult topic? Tell us how it went in the comments. Number 5. Ask questions instead of making assumptions. Assumptions can be relationship killers. Why not replace them with curiosity? How many times have we been sure we knew what our partner was thinking, only to find out we were completely wrong? Assumptions are like little mental shortcuts. They're easier than asking questions, but they often lead us down the wrong path. The Stoics teach us to approach situations with a beginner's mind, one that's open to learning and understanding. In relationships, this means asking questions rather than assuming we already know. Imagine a scenario where your partner comes home late from work, and instead of asking what kept them, you assume they don't prioritize spending time with you. The story begins to spiral in your mind. They don't care about me, I'm not a priority, and so on. These thoughts can fester and lead to resentment. But what if instead you approached them with curiosity? What if you simply asked, "Hey, what happened today?" You might learn that they had a last-minute meeting, got stuck in traffic, or wanted to surprise you with a treat on the way home. Assumptions close the door to connection. Questions open it. Asking questions shows that you're interested in understanding their experience and perspective. This approach not only helps you avoid unnecessary conflict, but also builds trust. When your partner knows that you're willing to listen rather than jump to conclusions, they're more likely to open up. It creates a safe space where both of you can share without fear of being misunderstood. Practicing this isn't always easy. When emotions are high, our minds tend to make assumptions, especially if we're feeling insecure or vulnerable. But with time and practice, you can train yourself to replace assumptions with curiosity. The next time you feel the urge to assume, pause and ask, "What else could be going on here?" Or, "Can you help me understand your side?" You might be surprised by what you learn. Have you ever caught yourself making assumptions in a relationship? How did asking questions instead change things? Let's discuss it in the comments. Number 6. See the person beyond the conflict. In the heat of an argument, it's easy to forget who you're talking to. When disagreements get intense, we sometimes lose sight of who's on the other side of the argument. This isn't just anyone. This is someone you love, someone you've shared countless memories with, someone who's been there for you in good times and bad. But in that heated moment, they can start to feel like an adversary rather than a partner. The Stoics remind us to see the humanity in others, even during conflict. Imagine you're in a disagreement over something important, like family planning or finances. Things get heated, and suddenly you find yourself saying things you don't really mean, just to make a point. It's at this moment that taking a step back can make all the difference. Remind yourself, this is someone I love, someone who's on my side. This simple shift in mindset can help you approach the argument from a place of care and respect rather than frustration or anger. Seeing your partner beyond the conflict doesn't mean you ignore your own feelings or back down from what matters to you. It means you bring a level of compassion and empathy to the conversation. For example, instead of saying, "You always make things difficult," try, "I know you're trying your best, and I appreciate that. Can we work together to find a solution?" This approach keeps the focus on the problem, not the person, and shows that you're both in this together. When you approach arguments with a sense of love and respect, it changes the dynamic. Your partner is more likely to feel safe, heard, and respected, which makes it easier for both of you to find common ground. By keeping the love and connection front and center, you're not just addressing the issue at hand, you're building a stronger, more resilient relationship. Do you ever find it hard to remember the love behind the argument? Let's talk about it in the comments. Number 7. Embrace imperfections, theirs and yours. Here's a truth bomb. Neither of you is perfect, and that's perfectly okay. In relationships, it's easy to fall into the trap of expecting perfection. We want our partner to be patient, kind, understanding, and consistent all the time. But here's the reality. Nobody is perfect. Not you, not your partner, not anyone. The Stoics teach us to embrace the imperfections in ourselves and others, seeing them as part of the human experience rather than flaws that need fixing. Accepting imperfection doesn't mean lowering your standards or ignoring issues that need to be addressed. It means recognizing that your partner will have off days, that they'll make mistakes, and that they'll have qualities you might not love. When you let go of the idea of perfection, you give both of you room to grow and improve without the constant pressure to be flawless. Imagine you're frustrated because your partner forgot an anniversary or didn't handle a situation as well as you'd hoped. Instead of letting that disappointment spiral, remind yourself that this doesn't define their love for you. Just as you have strengths and weaknesses, so do they. Embracing imperfection means accepting the full picture of who they are and appreciating them as a whole. This approach doesn't only apply to your partner, it applies to you too. When you stop holding yourself to an impossible standard, you become more forgiving, patient, and understanding. In the long run, accepting each other's imperfections creates a relationship that's grounded in reality, where both of you feel safe to be yourselves. How do you handle imperfections in your relationship? Let's share tips in the comments to help each other embrace the beauty of being human. Handling arguments isn't about being perfect or avoiding conflict altogether. It's about showing up with calm, empathy, and a commitment to growth for both you and your partner. When you bring Stoic wisdom into your relationship, you're not just managing disagreements. You're turning them into chances to strengthen your bond, deepen your understanding, and build a relationship that's truly resilient. So, if these Stoic secrets resonated with you and you're ready to transform how you handle conflict, don't forget to hit that like button. It's a small action, but it lets me know that this content is valuable to you, and it helps more people discover these ideas. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. I'll be sharing more insights and strategies on building a strong, connected relationship that's rooted in Stoic principles, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Finally, think about someone in your life who could benefit from a little Stoic wisdom in their relationship. Go ahead and share this video with them. Who knows? You might just help someone else find the peace and connection they're looking for in their relationship. Thank you so much for watching and for being here with me today. Keep showing up in your relationship with intention, and remember, every argument is a chance to grow together. Until next time, take care and stay grounded.